I've got this working correctly. I know we've got that. Oh, I didn't update the countdown. Oh, I'm such a bot. Pre-show. 1 second. We are updating. We need to go 13 and we need to go 29th. No. 29th. Cool. Make countdown. Copy. Paste. Boom. And then we'll take this. We'll edit that. I don't know how. I've been sitting here and I didn't do any of that. Okay. Then we need to go over here to cam only. Yep. Cool. We'll move that over. Looks like that chat is good. Let's check on YouTube. Yes and yes. Yo, what up, SV's Colonel? What's up, Link? What's up, Sir Code? It's airing tomorrow. No, it's airing tonight. Tomorrow they are doing the nationwide general strike and they're not showing the rebroadcast. That is what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is them not doing the rebroadcast. Oh, there's an echo. Let me know if the if their echo is gone. Test. No, it's all good. I saw somebody else have the exact same thought, Sir Code. So it is all good, man. You're not the only one who sorry, misconstrued it. So no biggie on that. It happens. It's all good. I'm trying something new. I thought when I was going live for these pre-shows that I was doing vertical and horizontal streams the whole time because I did the little toggle. I wasn't. Apparently I was only streaming horizontal, but I think I fixed it. I did. Nice. We now have a vertical and a horizontal. And hopefully both chats are working. I actually don't know. So let me type test vert on that one and see if it populates in the chats over there. Which it doesn't look like it is. So maybe I have to oh no, it does. It's just super late. Lurking, appreciate it, Emo Fairy. Thank you. Yeah, so now we are on YouTube, we are both vertical and horizontally live. So that's cool. I also made a slight adjustment to my camera. I don't know if you guys can tell or anything like that, but I lowered the ISO. But yeah, sweet. We are here for episode 13 of Critical Role. It is going to be an interesting one as we kind of dive into, are the Einfasens part of the good guys or part of the bad guys? Or were they trying to be the good guys, but their hand is going to be forced and they're going to be the bad guys, right? Will they stay? Will they actually stay in Riesengürtel, or will they depart? Will the Seekers exit? Who will we get for the cold open? There's so many questions. What's up, Daniel? Welcome in, dude. I feel like a hero, and you are my heroine. Yo, what's up, Sherry? Hello. Welcome in, guys. Good to see you. Jason, hello. Welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, we have changed things up a little bit. We tried something different. We are now live. I said this. I thought I was always doing this, but I didn't realize I had to have a different stream key, because every time I went live, I'd click dual stream toggle, I'd toggle on, and I would go live. And then I just now realized that all these times I have not been going live vertically as well. But now we are live in two different places on there. So, yeah, because it looks like Daniel and Sherry, unless the chats are combined, are actually over on the vertical version rather than the horizontal version. Yo, what up, Allie? Welcome in, welcome in. Get more schemers for cold open. Maybe we get to see what Azune is up to. That would be cool. Yo, what's up, Alpha Mike? Yeah, I wonder when they're going to start showing us the soldiers for cold opens again. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's like too soon since we just got them. Hey, Emma, welcome in. It does feel like it's a little too soon for that. But we will see. If they decide to go ahead and get that party started. Only time will really tell when it comes to that. I didn't post in Discord. I didn't notify the masses, chat. Share, copy a link so we can get folks in here for this thing. Live with the Critical Role pre-show. Let's copy paste that. Hope everybody's had a good week though. I feel like a lot of people on my most recent video, I talk about the Lord Einfasens and how I think that like he made a mistake or there's something to hide. And the number of people who are taking that as me being like, Brennan made this guy be stupid. It doesn't make sense for him to do that. Like all this stuff was more than I thought. I feel like a lot of people took it in like a way different way as that it was intended for me. Hey, what's up, Astri? Welcome in. I can't tell. Are you, Samuel, Astri, Sherry, Daniel, are you guys actually watching the vertical version rather than the horizontal? I don't know if it's combining my chats or if it's separating my chats for that, because I am live both vertically and horizontally on YouTube. So I don't know if it's combining or not. Wait, every time I click it, why is it showing? Okay, there we go. Checked my, oh, my bad. Let me mute that real quick. Okay, the Discord notice should be muted. But no, it looks like it's showing. I have both my chats are populating. That's awesome. I'm late, but I'm able to join tonight for the pre-show. What's good? Yo, what's up, Shifter? Yes, vertical. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. That's cool. We are live on both, and we've got 17 on the vertical and 14 on the horizontal. More people are tuning in on vertical. That's interesting. They are both live right now, guys. So if you're watching on a computer and you don't want the vertical and you want to see the chat in the normal spot and all that sort of stuff, if you just click on my page and go, there's two options for live. I think on mine it was the second one. If you want to watch the full screen, you don't have to stick to the vertical one, but it is totally up to you. Kaylee Scott, thank you for liking the live on TikTok. As always, guys, now that we're getting some folks in here, give the video a thumbs up, engage, type something in the chat. If you're on TikTok, double tap the screen, all that good stuff, as it helps get us out to more people. But what are the predictions for you guys in terms of, do you think Einfasens did it out of just being ridiculous? Or do you think Einfasens is hiding something? When he did, so not now, when he smashed Handmaiden Greta's head with a hammer, do you think he was trying to hide something, or do you think that was just stupid? Hey, I'll start by like, no worries, we've only been live for 10 minutes, so you are plenty on time, little bun. The Discord link tried to send me to the vertical. Oh, maybe I copied the wrong. No, I just copied the one at the top there. I guess I don't know why it's sent that way, but oh well. I think I'm most curious on how Octus is going to handle trying to hide his identity. Yeah, where they were like, he's currently in disguise, and he only has a couple more casts. So, how do we spell Einfasens? It is Einfasen. is going to spring a trap at some point, but they may play it out for a while. To me, it's like they didn't even really have, like, why spring? Like, they just had him there. You know, that's where it's kind of like, wait. And at that point, I don't even know that if he had said that he had Lady Aranessa Royce with him. So it feels like they could have already sprung that trap, right? Like, they didn't have to wait for that. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, it's still possible. I still think that there could be some secret thing going on. But yeah. Oh, I found the horizontal version now. Yeah, I am live on both. I don't know why it's like defaulting some people to the vertical version, but I am. If you're watching the vertical version of the pre-show on YouTube, there is also a horizontal version on YouTube that you can watch if you'd rather see everything and have the chat with TikTok and Twitch and everything over here on my side. It's all there. I saw it as character reinforcement, as Brennan said that family was quick to violence. Yeah, so and a lot of people, so when I made a video about this, I understand the setup, but being a hot-headed family doesn't mean that what you did wasn't stupid, right? Because I made the case that, like, it was a really stupid decision for the Lord of the House to do unless he was trying to hide something. So the only two options are he did something stupid because he's hot-headed, or he's trying to hide something, right? Like, these are the only two options. But people are like, oh, well, Brennan said like they were hot-headed. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't, like, hot-headed people do stupid stuff all the time. It doesn't make it like it wasn't the wrong thing or it wasn't stupid, right? So yeah. But which one it is, I don't know. Kelly says, yeah, I'm totally suspicious of this family and thinks that they shouldn't fight them. They need to find a way to sneak out or pretend to be an alliance, get out quickly. Well, right now, if anything, Einfasens pretending to be the alliance, right? Like, if anything. So if that's the case, I don't know if Einfasen cares if Sir Davos and Lady Royce decide to do that. Yeah, because they don't really like have a house to ally with, right? It's on our PRESHOW label. Weird. Why? Okay, hold on. I wonder if I can change that. That's so weird. Why it... How do I change that? Edit video? View details? It's showing pre-show. That's kind of aggravating. It's even got the freaking post-show thumbnail on. Okay, this is my first time streaming both live at the same time. Vertical and horizontal, which again, I thought I had been doing the whole time. I didn't realize that I wasn't. I clicked the toggle for it, but there was another step that I wasn't doing. Okay, it looks like I solved that. I changed the thumbnail and the whatever. Dang, that's annoying. I wonder how many people were like, what the heck, and like didn't click because of that. All right, it should be good. If you refresh that, if you would, if you're on the horizontal, let me know that it's now pre-show, episode 13, and all that sort of stuff. But I think I fixed that. Thanks for pointing that out, Ali. I really appreciate it. Yeah. What's up, Dan? Let's see. Daniel says, there's also a danger that the demons show up in Dispel Ox's disguise when he's in the presence of the Einfasen or the vassal he was impersonating shows up at an inconvenient time. Very true. I feel like the vassal showing up would be just wild because they were like, why are you back? Why would you be back? So it would, but the first idea of the demon showing up and turning off the disguise, especially because we know they think he's disguised, that is a real potential good theory. That is a real potential good. I like that, Daniel. I like that a lot. Because we know that they're looking to like see if they're disguised or not. And if he happens to be disguised, yeah. Jason says he's the head of a successful house. He can't be that stupid. I'm sussed out. I agree. I think that it's very possible. There's something more to it. Einfasens was very insistent on them staying under the protection. Anybody else called? Yes, no doubt. He was very insistent on that, and kind of just being like, look, if you want to catch these people, it's probably like you should probably stay here. Gave him the protective detail and all that stuff. There's definitely some suspicion. Emma Duke says, I want to know why the daughter was crying. Was signposted when looking at Aranessa, but she doesn't seem as 0 to 100 as the others, so could be an ally for Seekers or a red herring. I agree. Throwing that in at the very end, being like, you look up and you notice Lady Ingrid is looking down at Lady Aranessa and crying. Excuse me? Why? Like, hey, Geeky, welcome in, welcome in. Einfasens was a little too insistent, definitely suspicious. I'm with it, Astri. Daniel says the real test will be whether they see any of the guards and drivers from the caravan. If they've been released, where are they? Wouldn't you want to convert? Yeah, so that's what I expect now. Like he said, I'm going to free all of the people. Okay, okay, cool. Bring them. Like, bring them in. We need to protect them as well. If we're under your protection, bring my people up in here. So hopefully that will happen, or else somebody better be asking questions, right? It's like, oh yeah, we're going to free all the people that we imprisoned wrongfully. Yeah, you can't see any of them. They're gone. Like, that's going to be super suspicious. So hopefully that is not the case. On TikTok, Kaylee says, I have a feeling that it's directly going to mess with the schemers. What in particular? I see the fix now. It's good now. Hey, sweet. Thanks. It's very suspicious. Einfasens has some of those Taconis brand statues. The statue Detect Phaon Valus or Undead Julian's Curse seems very like the Petrified Paladins Taconis is making in bulk. That's an interesting point, Caden. That is a very interesting point. He is just a random hired hand now, but if they come looking for them, like they see, you know, the Loy, right? They see Taisha, and then they're like, oh, let's look at their group. Who are they with? And then one of them is in disguise, then, right? Even if they're not targeting him necessarily, if Cruelty, the demon aspirant, sister of tyranny, can detect that, then she'll detect that somebody is there in disguise. And that is, of course, Octus. Even if he's not the person she thinks and is not hiding from them, yeah. Says thanks, Bibinkoski. I liked how Brendan said that Ingrid's crying was because it's a world full of sadness or something like that. Oh, I don't remember that line. Mike says it was a good show, just got kind of lost a little, like the story of the Seekers, though. In what way did you get lost, Mike? I really, oh, Jodman, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. Appreciate that. I really wish they were able to get that vulture to grab the carrot pigeon as well. I knew that wasn't going to happen with how long they were in there. And then, like, they came outside. They had to get out, like, away from people. I was like, there's no way this vulture is catching that carrier pigeon. Like, it's been gone for too long. Like, it's just, yeah. And then he looked it up and was like, oh, yeah, they can cruise at 60 miles an hour and the place is only 100 miles away. Like, yeah. If they do have some of the statues Octus is made, well, it would depend on if he is classified in the same way as the undead, right? Like, would he trigger that in the same way? Hey, Caden, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Appreciate that. I lost 3 subscribers today. I looked and I went from like 9,130 to 9,127. So we're back up to 128. Appreciate that. If anybody else hasn't already subbed over on the YouTube, click that subscription button. Doesn't cost you a thing. Gets me more of me in your feed. I'm also late to this. The statues you're referring to would be the Taconis ones I could tell undead. That's what that person was talking about. Yeah, they were saying those statues. Jimmy, welcome in, dude. The carrier pigeon is probably going to house since you stayed someone inside the house. So people also said this a lot. However, they didn't set up that source yet, right? Like, as of now, Hal hasn't contacted and like set that up. All he said was he knows like a handmaiden or a servant or something that is like a bit of a gossip. I don't know if he said like, oh yeah, she already passes me important information. If that's the case, then yes, maybe that's who it was going to. But otherwise, they hadn't like set that up for him, like her to be his source already. So unless her first instinct was to immediately get a carrier pigeon to gossip to Hallandil Fang, yeah, I don't know. I'm unsure about that theory. I've seen it a lot. I saw it in the little post show we did last week, and stuff like that. Kimmy, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. Appreciate that. Is there a support group where we can recover from Brendan doing a baby cry last episode? Oh my God, Santi, I tell you what, dude. I did say in the post show, I was like, and my review of the episode, I did a review video. If you guys haven't seen it on YouTube, the baby scenes and the kid scenes, they're not for me. They're not for me. I liked Hal and his brother, Thiazi talking. I liked that part of the scene. The whole like watching Liam pretend to bounce a baby and Brennan be a crying baby. I was like, God, it's not for me. It's not for me. Where can we get some of that Kavrozi Stout? I loved that scene with Julian going up and being like, you know, do you have some red Cabernet? And then being like, what are you talking about? You know, like that was fun. How do we think they're going to keep Octus hidden? I don't know. Like, he has disguise, but he only has but so many casts of it. So unless he just tries to stay away for most hours of the day and then cracks the spell when he needs to go out, maybe he does that. But yeah, that is a very solid question, because they only have a limited amount of time per day that he can actually maintain a disguise. Never mind, I'm catching in chat. Okay. Tyranny's sisters appearing can be good. It will be good to know if the Einfasens are in good terms with the Halavars. That's true, but they may not know about that. You clipped it in 2 hours, mostly damaged again. I did. I put the Brennan doing the crying baby thing in my review video, or in my recap. I don't remember if I did it both. I might have done it in both, but I did put it in there. Cabinets. What do you think is the source of Ingrid's weeping? Mitchell asked. Does she know that her father's in league with House Taconis, so the Seeker just walked to an ambush? I mean, that is a strong theory, is that she's looking down being like, they don't know what they've walked into. I was trying to think of others, and it's like, that is the like most likely. Or Carlos says, yo, I'm liking your repost. Oh, my repost. Okay, thanks. I don't know, Mitchell. Like, it's tough, because the other option is, yeah, she could be bummed about, like Jason just said, she could be bummed about her handmaiden. She could be upset that something is happening. There's a number of small things that it could be, but yeah, it could be that she's crying because she knows that she's traded on her house. Right? Maybe she's not crying because she knows that they walked into an ambush by her house, but that she has betrayed her own house and stuff like that. Like, that could be also a reason why she's crying. Caden says, don't go into the I do what I wish hit hard. Yeah, between Hal and his brother. I mean, especially when just a couple lines earlier, Hal had said, like, I've never been able to tell you what to do. And then they, you know, fast forward a little bit, and he's like, don't go. And Thiazi's like, I do what I wish. See you soon. And just goes, and you're like, banger, dude. I was in the shorts video, got confused, but it was 4K quality there. Yeah, so again, this is the first time I'm streaming both horizontally and vertically on YouTube. I will say again, I thought I was doing it the whole time. There's a dial when you go live on YouTube where you can toggle it on, and it says stream in vertical. And I thought, sick, cool, I'm doing it. I never checked, never knew how it worked, but now apparently you have to get another stream key and then have a vertical thing. And so I did it this time, and now, you know, we've got 24 people watching over there. So hey, vertical folks, there is a horizontal feed as well where you can see the chat and everything else, and the full everything on my sides. But yeah, there is both vertical and horizontal feeds, so you can watch it either way that you want to. When it comes to that, might just hammer him. That's true. He he just smashes him. I mean, that would make sense, Jod. Emila says, the kid stuff isn't for me either, but I wonder if parents feel differently. So I've talked about this before, Emulus. So I know, for instance, not just the baby scene, but even the scenes with Taisha and Shadia, right? Like Hal and the daughter, and none of those scenes do I really enjoy very much. But several people who are parents have said that they actually really do like those scenes. So maybe it does have somewhat to do with that, but it could just be that some people, I mean, people enjoy different stuff, right? So I don't watch it and go, this is terrible, get it out of here. I just watch it and go, this isn't for me. But it's for somebody, right? Somebody enjoys it. And then I saw that Ashley said, I'm a parent, I don't feel differently. So you also have parents who are like, I don't like it either. Fair, but yeah, the kid stuff, the baby thing, it doesn't, it's not for me. Stephanie says, or she thought two dudes were going to hit on her and nothing came of it. Yeah, she's crying because the old man that Octus was pretending to be and Julian both were basically like, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, Kaden says it would be hilarious if her crying was just because she wasn't able to flirt. Emma says, could be she knows about what happens with House Royce. She could have told the handmaiden to deny that she told her to do it. Like you said, could be anything. My signal went up for Brendan's patterns. Yeah. Ingrid's still upset about her bony shoulders. As she was a little self-conscious about that. A little self-conscious. Same no issues with it. I just prefer the other scenes. I agree. Mitchell asks, do you think that the cold open will continue the schemer's plot since we have already... So we talked about that kind of at the start where I was kind of like, what do you guys think the cold open will be? I don't know if they'll go back to the soldiers this early. Like you said, we just did a full arc with them. So it's like, now do we start getting cold opens from them? Because they're just trapped. We had a whole end of arc, them sitting around a fire, having all their RP moments. And now we're going to cut to cold opens of them walking back to Dalmakyar. Yeah, I don't know. It would be a little odd almost to not see them at all, but also not really, if that makes sense. Because then let's say the schemers ends, or the seekers end and we go to the schemers. Then we probably wouldn't see the seekers in cold opens. It would be the soldiers to prep us for the soldiers arc coming, right? Something like that. Two birds, one boulder. Yeah, there was some, I don't think this episode had like the best lines out of the episodes by any stretch, but there were some fun ones. It definitely isn't my top pick for amazing lines in an episode. There have been some though. There have been some episodes that I'm just like, this is peak. Completely unrelated. I need to do a better job of also posting like on Instagram and stuff that I'm live on doing these streams. So is Einfasens getting rid of Revolutionary Guard gave clues to Otto's intentions? Maybe, but also maybe he isn't as in control of that. Right? Like, and if so, what are those intentions? Right? Like, that's kind of the question, is does it give insight? Well, if it does, what is the insight? Right? Like, what do you think it is, Santi, if that's the case? Sorry, I'm trying to do a story on here and say that I'm live with the pre-show. Critical Role pre-show is live. Come in. Add sticker, link, paste. Okay. Cold open, just Wolfric seeing a flash of the pigeon and a pantheon of vulture in pursuit. That could be fun. I don't know if his summon critter is still going though. I don't know if it requires concentration or anything. Once he realized it doesn't work, he might, Is it undead critter? Yeah. Sandy says, all houses are trying to get power and pretend to be friends. Otto maybe intends to use Royce. But as of right now, Royce doesn't exist, to our knowledge, outside of one person. Right? Like, as of right now, all we know is Lady Aranessa Royce. That's it. That's all we got. So, like, using the Royces, like, what does that even mean? I really want to watch it live, but too tired. Oh, no. I was really tired today, too. We went to lunch for my brother's birthday, and I entered a food coma. Let's see. I think Einfasens values strength above all. They're the oldest house for a reason, so they may just go where the wind goes and side with Taconis. So I talked about this a lot in my review as well as in the post show. And they kind of talked about it in the cooldown for anybody who watched that. I think the Einfasens initially, this was my read initially. I think Einfasen truly believed that that he had received a letter and that they needed to capture them or whatever, and it was from General Raymond, Julian's father. I think that he meant what he said. Daniel, thank you so much for that super chat. But I do think that when it comes down to it, is Lord Einfasen, who said his number one priority is his house, is he willing to put his house at risk for a house that is already destroyed? Is he willing to defend the glory of House Royce if House Royce is already gone? Like, is he willing to do that? That's where I feel like things could come back. Now let's get to the super chat. Daniel, thanks so much for that $5 super chat. The episode image shows Valus. That suggests she will play a big role in the episode. Do we think that the alarm she set off will go off again? I feel like it already would have, because they're already back inside, right? So that's where I'm a little thrown off. Yo, what's up, Toast? I'm torn on that because she's already back in the house. Like, she's already back. So that's why I started to think that the reason that she rolled that sort of luck thing is that she just got unlucky with trying to get inside. And it actually wasn't related to her. It was just like narratively, as soon as your foot hits there, this goes off. But maybe it wasn't her that caused it, because they already grouped back up. They got everybody together and they walked into Lord Einfasen's compound. So I'm not sure. I am intrigued as to whether or not the thumbnail actually corresponds with tonight being Valus focused. I think that's been somewhat of a theme previously, but also not. Like, Tyranny was in some thumbnails, and it's not like an episode was dedicated to Tyranny. So we'll see. But the fact that sometimes there were two people in it, and this one is like, it's full on, it's Ashley and Valus, and like, that's it. I don't know. We'll have to see. Sorry, let me catch up on chat. Mitchell says, Julian is molding into that person that you absolutely hate, thinks is a terrible person for speaking on Thaz's course, but also can't deny that he's incredibly charming. It would be easy to take over two houses. I still haven't watched last week's episode. I'm having trouble dealing with She Won't Be Named. I have the episode queued up and Brandon's doing the recap. You just, like, if the stuff bothers you, I think you have to stop paying attention to it. That's the only thing I can tell you. I do believe that some people who have a problem with some of the performers, they begin to hyper focus, and then you're making more out of something that probably wouldn't bother you that much if you didn't focus on it. That's it. Because I watched that episode and I didn't have a problem. Like, I didn't. There wasn't a problem for me. So that's the only thing I can say is that stop staring at it, waiting for it, and listening for it. Yeah. feel better. I mean, I'm not like sick or anything. I was just tired. I just got like a food coma from eating a bunch of food, or eating like heavy food, like carbs and stuff. I heard Critical Role. Oh, Fadebreaker. That's what this is, the Critical Role campaign for pre-show that I do every Thursday before the episode. So we do a nice little pre-show where we'll hang out and talk about stuff. Might be some Royce. So that's true, Jason. There could be some Royce left in the caravan. I mean, worst case, propose to Lady A. That's true. Then you get another member and connect the houses. Switching the characters for the thumbnails. Yeah, I don't know. So I understand the idea, like what Daniel said, because we have seen some emphasis, some focus on some of the characters, but at the same time, it's not like a boom, this is the important part. Although I would love to get more from Valus. This doesn't feel like her place, right? Like, other people, it feels like, are more connected into this specific plot point, and she's not as much. So that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know, but there could be a surprise. I think they're just to the west of Dalmakiar through a mountain pass. I'm pretty sure that's it. So like, if this is the map, we'll say Dalmakiar is here, and then there's a mountain pass here, and they're here, or like on the side of the mountains. They're just to the west of Dalmakiar through a mountain pass. If they aren't dead, yeah. Well, I'm hoping that like all the Royce folks aren't, but it would, like they already said, like the supplies are capped, all the stuff is capped, so it fits that they really did receive a letter. East of Benjamin. Oh, yeah. They're either way. It's east or west of them. They're basically horizontal to them. I might have messed up the directions on whether it was east or west. But yeah. Watch. I had it on. Was listening while checking emails. Yeah. I guess to me that stuff is like she's reactive. She's reactive, but like at no point did I see most of the complaints people have. There wasn't like a bunch of spotlight stealing. There wasn't like that stuff just didn't happen. So. Character aspiration, but it's definitely new style to get used to. I hear you. Yeah. We know if the Royce state is cooked or just the Davanos. Well, so the Davanos, yes. The Royce, we just don't know because we know that wagons were stopped. Then from the Seekers, or I'm sorry, the soldiers, there was the report that the orchard, the Golden Orchard, was attacked. And then, of course, they had the bracers from the brother, Callowin Royce. So we've gotten a lot of little drops that like the Royce were attacked, not just who was there at that place, but like all around things happened to the Royces. So I'm curious how the tailgate will work now that Whitney's group is no longer the main arc. Wouldn't she know things that she's not meant to know yet since the soldiers haven't reconnected yet? I mean, yeah, but any of them can watch the show, right? They just have to be responsible enough to not use like that meta knowledge if they're watching storylines unfold elsewhere in the world that they don't actually have access to. Right? Like that's just kind of on them. Chris, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. That reminds me, guys, if you haven't already, whether you're watching vertically on YouTube or horizontally, yes, there are both on YouTube. If you go to my page, you can choose to watch me vertically or horizontally. Click the thumbs up button on that, and if you're on TikTok, double tap the screen, and if you're on Twitch, thanks for watching. Give me your Prime sub. I'm interested in when they go over the sea. There are boats in the intro, and wonder if there's foreshadowing water voyages. I think at some point, because they talked about that place, one of the other options. I have it in my notes. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But one of the other options is basically to go to this like city that's across that place where the boats, you could hear people like giving distress calls, but when you went and searched, there was nobody there, like that sort of thing. So that'll be fun. You said you're hearing an echo? Are you at the very start of it? Because I solved that, Paul. I don't know if you're caught up. Is anybody else getting an echo? Somebody complained about it at the very start, but I thought I solved it. Stevie says, oh, I already answered that. Emma says, could Valus help Octus with this issue in any way? It might be a big issue this episode. Hopefully, she gets some better roles. And well, I don't think so. She tried to do lay on hands, and he basically was like that. So it was established that Octus can be healed, but it doesn't solve his, hey, you're undead now. Like you are reanimated. In the same way that I think like mending and stuff may help him stitch up, but I don't think that's going to provide healing. Hearing echo. Well, those people are on YouTube. I think Paul might be further behind. Are you at the live portion? So hopefully that's just it. It just hasn't clicked the live button. Also, shout out to everybody over on YouTube. We got 61 on the horizontal. We got 26 on the vertical. Or an extra tab. There's also that. Stitching and lay on hands for actual wounds. They found a way for this. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There is they allowed the mending to do that, especially I'm in a nat 20 with the medicine check to like help with the stitching. But it was really just to establish when she tried laying on hands that like, yeah, he can be healed. It's just not going to allow that. Switching to Twitch sounds good, Todd. I meant more him getting going undetected this episode rather than healing, was just trying to rationalize it. Oh, yeah. As a paladin, I don't think she has anything that can like cover who he is. I mean, I think he has the best chance of using disguise self. That's about all he's got when it comes to that, unless they get like a disguise kit. Right? Like if somebody's proficient in a disguise kit, then that might work. But I don't think a level 3 paladin has anything that can benefit keeping Octus's person secret. Happy mending worked. Yeah, I mean it was cool narratively for her to like roll that at that time and it to help stitch him up, because that, you know, that was basically his whole focus that episode until he went in and pretended to be the other guy, was just on his stomach and eating food and drinking stuff and feeling out what his new situation was like. Jason says he's dead for the campaign unless they do like an in-game art to bring him back. Yeah. Just can't wait to see Patchwork Octus just all stitched up and slapped together. Yeah, I think that's where Alex wants to go with it. I think Alex really wants to focus on like Octus, because Octus is already like a necromancer. He's already into this sort of thing. Like he wants to kind of study himself, and figure these things out and be like, wait, how am I back? What does this mean? What impact does it have on my body and its normal functions and all of those sorts of things? The only way that made hide him more Nistel's magic aura, the second level spell, but the physical stuff you aren't hiding when you get down to it. Also, welcome in, Strike. Shifter, I'm surprised we haven't gotten prestidigitation to help with a possible rot or a dead smell. I don't know that that's been established. There is one though. So that might be why that hasn't been. Lips or chat. Used, because that hasn't been. Yo, what's up, Todd? Welcome over to Twitch, dude. But I'm wondering maybe that'll happen at some point where Brendan's like, yeah, you guys start to there's like a smell, like a rotting smell, and then everybody's like, and they stare at Octus. That would be funny. I like the exploring and not just skipping over it, but also like Brennan isn't stuck on rule. Yeah. I liked all the descriptions of where they were and then them tracking things down. It's still like this campaign does still feel like it's a little more on rails. But I think that's just part of having different arcs and stories and needing everything to be on a timetable. I think that's just going to be the nature of this one, is that it's a little more on rails. Or at least feels that way, even if it's not actually. I don't know. I do like Octus's character arc. He reminds me of a Nico D'Angelo from the Percy Jackson novels, like nerdy kid with power of death. I'm not familiar with that, actually. But yeah, I like the idea of like, you know, he's some kid who's unsure of himself and isn't really like, he's like an outcast. And then this situation happens to him and he's trying to figure it out because he's like kind of nerdy about it and all that. Like it's neat. Perfect way to get Lichdom, if those still exist in 5e, second edition forever. Yeah, there's liches in 5e. Yeah, I mean, a lich is like a big part of D&D. That's definitely still there. It's gonna be fun seeing where they go from this with his new undead form. Yeah, I wonder how much. So it seems like he wants to focus on it quite a bit, because that was his focus for most of the episode, was just like doing all that. It felt, I don't, jarring isn't the right word, but it felt almost slightly out of place, because it's like Taisha's focused on what are the Halbars doing. I'm gonna go track them down and figure that out. And then Julian and Valus are like, let's go find the wagon and let's go. And Octus is like, I'm gonna go pull food out of my tummy. And you're like, what? Like, it's like he was on his own like personal thing and everybody else is like following the plot points. And he's like, I'm gonna do this. But yeah. Game Train, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. I don't know, Brendan seems surprised they went to the king. In regards to the Rails comment. To the king. Do you mean that they went and talked to Lord Einfasen? You talking about Lord Einfasen? I haven't talked to a king, right? Because the only king we know about is like King Augustus of Timony, and that dude. I don't know. If he seemed surprised, I guess I didn't pick up on it, because it felt like he kind of set them up with El Pier. Thanks for following over on Twitch. Yeah, I don't know if it struck me as that, because he kind of set them up with Aranessa being like, hey, let me ask you guys, so let's play a game. Wouldn't this mean that, mean that, mean that? Oh, so maybe our people are alive. Maybe, like, it felt like there was a little bit of a cookie. Oh, and the cooldown is where you got that impression that he was like, oh, you guys are just going to go in and talk to. Okay. Got turned upside down. That's true. It did. I thought today's got no. So, Total Swagner, tonight's episode is fine. Tomorrow's rebroadcast, they're doing Saturday instead, because they're participating in the nationwide general strike. So they're not doing that 9 a.m. rebroadcast tomorrow. For those of you who didn't know, they're not doing the 9 a.m. rebroadcast tomorrow PST. They're going to do it Saturday instead, to show solidarity with the nationwide general strike, for anybody who didn't know. So if you're going to watch it tonight, you're going to get to see it. If you were going to watch it tomorrow morning, you're going to have to wait till Saturday or Monday. It does kind of work as they're all seeking different information and leads. Yeah, it's just theirs were more like big plot points, and his was like, I'm just going to kind of do my own thing with my stomach and my new form. Steak says, I'm a vacation from Canada. Can't wait for Octus to be his own narrative again. Yeah. Welcome in, and hope you are enjoying your vacation in Spain. That's pretty cool. Heck yeah. Game Trend says, I love your videos, dude. I was wondering how's campaign 4 so far. I wanted to get into it. I've been enjoying it. It's fun. It's different. It's definitely different. But it is good. Brendan's doing a good job. We've had some amazing NPCs so far. Without a doubt. Really, really enjoyed that. So yeah, overall game train, I think especially that it's still early, so you could still get in. Uttered in one spoiler secrets, or he's dumb impulsive. Yep, Chris, that's exactly how I feel about it. Or you could, yeah, or you can just get Beacon, like Tales of Exandria and Armand said. By the way, if you guys don't already follow, if you're on TikTok and you don't follow Tales of Exandria and Armand, or on Instagram, they're also if you need to keep up with Critical Role and cosplay and stuff, that is a place that you want to be. They repost everything. They make announcements. They've done some cool community stuff. So definitely check them out on TikTok and Instagram. So that, thank you. No worries, Total Swag. Yep. So you'll still get to watch it tonight. I gotta say though, if any character ever needed a hat of disguise, it's our boy Alexis. No, that's totally fair. That is totally fair. Boomer, what's up? I'm your biggest fan, Nerdcore. My biggest fan? I don't know. Debbie, check it out. Absolutely, Game Train. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask. I mean, that's what this when I go live now, these are what I call they're the Critical Role pre-shows that I started, and now I've been imitated. More people are doing them. But the Critical Role Campaign 4 pre-show is just to talk about what's happened so far in it, what's happening, what are our theories moving forward, what happened last week, what happened the last arc, how is it intertwined, and to just share a common love, interest, and all that sort of stuff for Critical Role. So, yeah, feel free, pop in, chat, all that sort of stuff. I think if you subscribe to their YouTube channel, you can watch past episodes, but you would have to pull an old one up and check on that. Maybe anyone can watch. Do you mean member or subscribed? Yeah, you might be able to get immediate access if you're a member, just like if you're sub to Beacon or if you're a Twitch subscriber. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe you get immediate. You don't have to wait if you're those, like, because Twitch you can watch the VODs if you're a sub. So if they leave it up as a VOD, then you can watch it. What does each Critical Role Campaign 4 PC put on their popcorn? Don't actually worry about answering this. It's a joke. If it was only like a singular table, like 4 players or 5, I might actually try to come up with what I think. I don't want to do it for 13 players. Also, they're doing different groups like adventures or something. How is that? It's different. It is very different, Game Train. So yeah, we start the first 4 episodes called the Overture. They basically had all 13 players there, and they were just going to, if these 2 walked away, then they had their moment. If this group went to search that place, they had their moment. And it was just very interchanging. In a single episode, single 4-hour episode, you'd get all 13 players doing different things, interacting with each other and all that. And then once they moved to the individual groups, they split into 3 tables. You have the Seekers, the Schemers, and the Soldiers, and we follow each of them for an arc. So we did the Soldiers for 6-7 episodes, and then they ended their arc, and then we moved to now the Seekers. And now we're following a Seekers arc, and then we'll follow a Schemers arc, and then maybe at some point players will switch around if they reconvene. But every episode so far has had a cold open with a different group. So you'll get like a 5 to 10 minute segment that has like, even if it's the Seekers arc, it'll open with the Schemers for like 5 or 10 minutes to like tell you what they're doing in the background. And then it'll do that kind of to keep you connected to them. Hopefully that answers that. Yeah. Ask us immediately. Okay, nice. Heck yeah. Who is going to come into conflict tonight? I think the demons. If anybody, I think it's going to be the demon aspirants. Daniel Perez. What's up, mechanic? You remember you can get immediate access if you just sub. It drops like the Monday of the next week. Oh yeah. No, the Monday you'll get it on Monday no matter what. It's always going to be out there for anybody, even if you're not subbed. You can watch it on Monday. But if you want to get it before then yeah, you can do that. But speaking of members, did you guys know you can become a member here on YouTube to my channel and help me continue to make content around Critical Role, Dungeons and Dragons, and other nerd culture content full time, which is what I'm trying to do. So it's like $3 or $5 a month. It's like a cup of coffee a month total. So if anybody has the desire to become a member here on YouTube, that would be beneficial to me. Or go subscribe to my Patreon. It's $3 a month, I think. And it helps me out with a little bit of that consistency. Do you think we will still get guest players throughout the campaign? I hope so. I think that's something people have always enjoyed, is getting a guest. So I do think so. It's just a matter of when and how, because there's so many players. So it'll be interesting to determine that. But I do hope so, because some of the tables only have 4 players. So like, all right, give them a 5th. Give them a 5th for a couple of weeks, you know? Like, I think that's fair and that's fine. Hey, Daniel, thanks for gifting a membership. I can't see who it went to. Oh, Daniel ended up gifting it to Daniel. 505 Daniel got a gift, a membership from Daniel. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you think we will follow each arc, then they all come back together like an Avengers movie? I think they'll come back before that, to be fair. I think that they will come back before that. Maybe not all at once, but I think we'll see like maybe the soldiers reconvene with the schemers, and then maybe some change ups, maybe not. And then we'll get like maybe a different group runs into. And if you're saying like at the very end, they're all coming together, I could see that. I could see that, yeah. Because otherwise, you're going to have 3 different campaign endings. So that'd be that would feel a little strange almost, to have like 3 different campaign endings for one campaign. Daniel's all the way down. Yeah, I know. We got 505 Daniel. We got Daniel Perez. We got Daniel Larison. We got Daniels are taking over the chat. Jaden says, what are you looking forward to the most this episode? Figuring out if the Einfasens are good or not. Like if they're actually good or not. Finding out why Lady Ingrid was crying. And also, I want the demons and the group to run into each other and figure out what's going to happen with that. So there's 3 answers for you. Let's see. Caden says, I really hope a guest player will play Hal's son and the Baradels, that Eternal Night place. I think Brandon will do a great job, but I think characters a lot of narrative weight. Yeah, there are a couple people that I already am like, that would be cool for a specific like guest player. I have one more question first. We got to see Matt Mercer play yet. If yes, what is he like? Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, we have gotten to see him play. Yeah, it's a very unique character compared to everybody else. His character definitely stands out because he's like the only antagonist character of the group. Valus kind of started that way, Ashley Johnson's character, but then very quickly just flipped. But Julian still has some of that, and that's Matt's character. So let's see. Tails says, wait, Valus could be attacked by Tyranny siblings. Weren't they suspecting the group to be wicked tyranny? Yes. Yeah. They thought Octus and Valus were both Wiccan tyranny. They did 3 innings basically with campaign 3. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be a little bit different. The 2 Halavar demons seem bigger and more powerful than tyranny. Yeah, well, there were 3, right? The 3rd one just didn't talk or have a name, but I thought it was Enmity showed up, and then there were 2 more standing in the door, and then Cruelty talked. I don't remember if the 3rd one, like, participated or said anything or got a name. I don't think so. And thanks for like the live, Ghost in the Mic. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, if you're on YouTube, whether you're on the vertical feed or the horizontal one, please click that thumbs up button, and then if you're on TikTok, double tap the screen for me. It helps me out a lot with the algorithm. And I'll say, for anybody who's watching on the vertical feed, there's 38 people over there. If you want to watch horizontal, you want a full screen. If you're not on your phone, I am live horizontally as well. If you want to go check that, you'll be able to see the chat from other places all over here. So feel free. You can be in either one. Doesn't bother me regardless. But if you want full screen, you want to see more of my room, if you just click on my name on there, just go to my page and it's right there. There's two options for me being live, a vertical and a horizontal. So just to let you guys know. And if you're on the vertical or the horizontal, you want to watch me vertical, you can go over there. But thanks for being here. Appreciate it, guys. Reason you have the vertical stream, more access to people. Dawn. Yeah, that's basically, so I've said this a couple times, but I thought I was already streaming vertically. On the dashboard, when you go to live stream, there is a dual stream thing, and next to it, there's an on-off switch. And I've turned it on every week, thinking it was just automatic. It was just sending me out and whatever. No, I had to get a separate stream key, set up the vertical thing here like I do for TikTok, and then do that. So I thought I was doing vertical as well every single time, but I wasn't. I was only streaming horizontally. So this is the first week that I actually did it correctly, and now I have both, and that is allowing for me to be in front of more people. Normally, unfortunately, I have not had this many people this early. Having 88 people by 8:43 with another 30 plus and vertical, these are like what my pre-show numbers were like before somebody else started doing the pre-show at the exact time I was doing the pre-show. So that's that to answer the question, Dawn. It's because it's more of an audience. It gets more people a chance. People are scrolling different feeds and they get a chance to see it. So let me catch up on chat. Finale required a lot of players to do a final come up with all of them. That would be a mass to come out with 13 players. Where is House Sun anyway? We don't know, but we know that he was off at like training with the Barodells or something like that. But we, that's part of like why Taisha's, they were like, hey, we know you want to do something else, but we kind of already want to solve this. Yeah. So I expect that's where we'll be going next, is continuing in that direction. Gondolin, thanks for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that. Fellow Carrigan said, ow. Oh, okay. That's what it is. Stephanie, heck yeah. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to level 30 character. I wish I knew what some of this meant, but thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, Stephanie. Welcome. You are one of, I think, 5 members. So thank you. Which is like the edge of the place where Tunsil and Slender died. It's a very scary place. It's right by the Storm Rack too, which is where they're near. I want to know more about the Storm Rack. I really want to know more about the Storm Rack. That whole thing. What's up, Artificial Selection? Is something that really does intrigue me quite a bit. Oh, you did. Okay, that's different. So everybody's a level 1 character. You're a level 30 character. I set these up, but I set them up so long ago when I wasn't even like streaming over here. But thank you. Your analysis and insight. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that support. All right, sorry, I'm still catching up on chat. Who's your dream guest player? I love to say mine is, I have to say mine is Lou Wilson. I love the G. I've heard that a lot. And I totally agree that I think that would be somebody who'd be great on there. Honestly, basically anybody from like the Dimension 20 stuff I think could fit really well, especially with Brennan at the helm. Like I think it would feel right. But I also love when they've brought in like celebrities who play D&D. Right? Like I wouldn't hate seeing some of the like celebrities they brought in before come back and have another shot. Maybe we could get another Hand of Vecna scene, right? Something cool like that. A little treachery. So I'm all for that. Were they all there? Yeah, so we knew that there were definitely 3 of them, and they might have said the name. I just remembered Enmity and Cruelty because I think Cruelty was the one who has the gift to do something with disguise. So that was part of that for me. How close is Einfasen to well, there are already some Einfasen in Dalmaciar, right? Because Paul, because they were working on the stuff, right? The with the guard, right? They had the guy taking over the nephew or somebody to Otto, who's Lord Einfasen. He was doing the guard. So some are already there. But in terms of how close, I think that it's just through the past, right? It's just to the east of Dalmaciar is where they're at now, which is Riesengürtel or Reisengürtel, however it's pronounced. Oh yeah, Tales of Exandria and Armon. How have you been enjoying the German accents and stuff that they've been doing? Tales is from Germany, so. At the Halivars in the Overture, I can't remember what the name is though. Yeah, I just didn't know if that was the one that was there, or if this was a new sister. Jason, that's why I was asking. Have a good stream, and next is sounds good, Game Train. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for the questions. What time is each episode here? Astri, 10 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, I know I'm catching up with chat. I know I'm responding to that pretty late, but yeah, so it's 10 p.m. Eastern is when it starts. I start my pre-show at 7:45, so we go live for about 2 hours. I stop at about 9:45, so that way people have 15 minutes to get snacks, drinks, go to the restroom, and all that before it starts. And it gives me time to like try to take a breath before I immediately jump into taking notes for my recaps and stuff. City and Reason is in a city of Reisengürtel in the Valmar Pass, which from Docker is like a few days travel by horse before you get to the mountains. For context, I'm in from New Zealand, so it's like at 4 p.m. Oh, that's not bad at all. You basically get to watch it for dinner. Astri, that's dope. Oh no, it's tough to watch live. I'm gonna catch up and respond to that. I just need to keep catching up. Any of the blind places left from the war would be awesome. Yeah, I want them to visit there. I want the Storm Rack. What do they call it? Like the Wastelands, or is where like the elves were from, or where Slandril or whatever ended up being killed. Like her territory is now like the Wastelands. Like I want to see that. Will Wheaton and Armand would be great. As a German, I like it, says Chris. All right. Emily Axford would be a fun guest to appear, of course. Cal says they pronounced Riesengürtel perfectly, then they misspelled it horribly to Reisengürtel. Oh, well, they tried. They did their best. It was agony because your stick is being clumsy and getting hurt. Oh, fair. Yeah, that makes sense. Connor, that makes sense. Also, I think, did you comment on my premiere video last night? I saw your thing, and as soon as I went to respond, because I walked away. I wasn't watching it at that real time. I walked away and I came back. And as I was typing a response to you in the live chat, it refreshed to a new video because the premiere had ended. So I didn't get to respond to your comment. So 10 p.m. there's no way to be able to watch it. It is tough. It is tough, Ashley, because a lot of the time it results in you being live or being up, for me, for instance, until like 2 or 3 a.m. Especially because I'm taking notes the whole time for my recaps to be able to make content around it and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not like I'm like passively watching. I have to be like, oh, let me jot that down. Let me write that. Okay, this is what they're doing. This is what they said. Oh, what was the name of that? Refresh. Oh, that was the name of it. Let me spell that correctly. Yeah, I have to like be focused. I do it's not to complain, but I do the pre-show and then immediately have to cut into watching a 3.5, 4 hour long thing while taking notes on everything that's happening. Reisengürtel. It's pronunciation. I hope that makes sense. I hope I got that right. Reisengürtel. Reisengürtel. Matt Colville will be dope guest. That would be neat, David. Yeah, get Matt Colville in there. You did. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was trying to respond to it. I ended up, I don't know if you saw, I left a comment on it that was basically acknowledging what you said, where I was like, me saying that I think Lord Einfasen did something stupid isn't me saying Brennan did something stupid. It's me saying Lord Einfasen did something stupid. I want to see Agony Battle. Hoping she has a clumsy mechanic. That would be a lot of fun. Riaz and Rick. Oh, okay. Riesengürtel. Nailed it. You are mining mechanic celebrity crush. Wow, thanks so much, Boomer. What a celebrity I am. So the demons exhibit the traits they're named after. Maybe tyranny is in cause suffering, but to rise up against her father. But to be a tyrant? Hey, Jaden with a $10 super chat. Get yourself some nice dice, my treat. Said it in the previous stream, but gotta say it again. I love your videos and the insights you have on campaign 4. You've been a big help on remembering info. Happy to hear it, Jaden. Thanks so much for that $10 super chat, man. I continue to try to be like, what do I think is an interesting topic? What do I think are interesting threads and ways to approach things? So I'm glad that it's enjoyed by some of you folks out there. I really appreciate it. For Dan, 2 p.m. live for me. I listen while I'm dog grooming, so the hounds at the soldier's table amused me. Yeah, you're... Imagine you're grooming and you're like, can you talk, dude? Were you a knight? Were you a knight in a previous life? No, that's awesome. 2 p.m. for you. So where is that? Is that like Australia or something? Well, no, because it's Australia's kind of near New Zealand, yeah? So wouldn't that... Cause somebody else said it was like 4 p.m. And it's 2 p.m. Oh, no, that makes sense. Times, yeah, never mind. That makes sense. Yeah. So now that we have Melbourne, Australia. Okay, sweet. Nice. Never been to Australia. It's so far. It's just so far away. So question now that we have a lot more people in here. Do you guys think Lord Einfasen is an enemy or not at the time that he smashed the handmaiden's hand? I'm not asking if you think he's going to become an enemy. I'm not asking if you think that now he might be changing. But at the time he smashed her head in, do you think he was already an enemy? Or do you think he truly just thought he was doing the right thing? And like he received a letter, he believed it was from General Raymond, and then he did like all that, and now he might change it. Because I think if he goes bad, it's going to be because he's basically like, yeah, I'm not going to fight for a dead house. Like if the Royce and the Davinos are already defeated, I'm not risking my house for that. I think that could be where it goes. But at the time when he first found out, when it was first discovered that the letter was a forgery and all that, I don't think he was a bad guy. I don't think the decision had to be made. I don't think he was aware of what had happened at that moment in time, personally. 100 people in here, drop a thumbs up. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure to click the thumbs up button if you're on YouTube. I appreciate that. If you're on TikTok, double tap the screen. Also, you know the weirdest thing? Almost every video or even live that I do, for some reason, has like a 98, 99% thumbs up. Because there's always like 1 or 2 people who like, no matter what is, I could post something that's like, hey man, I like puppies. And somebody would be like, nah, thumbs down, dude. F them puppies. Like, I don't know. Like the most like harmless things are posted and somebody has to thumbs it down. Like for whatever reason, people are just like, no, dude, don't like that. Just a fun fact for you all, that it's rare that it's like a straight up 100% upvote. It's never bad. Like I don't post stuff that's like 60%, you know, but it's like 98, 97, 99% with each one. So Matt Qualo, thank you for liking the live on TikTok. I appreciate that. I think he is just irrational. Yeah. Which again, I made a whole video about that. I thought that he did something stupid. I think they're just reckless, but I kind of love them. So that might be wishful thinking. That's fair. Yeah, they're cool. And they have that recklessness. It was just a really hard thing for me to kind of accept, because it's like, you're the lord of the house. You said your number one priority is your house's success. And then you find out that there was a spy and you kill them without getting information. Like, it was just dumb. It was just dumb. I think yes, I think Lord Einfasen is their enemy. Daniel's just straight up like, Einfasen's on the other side. Dude's a bad guy. I do think at the time he just smashed her head. That's fair. Jaden says, I think he might be using the Seekers either because he's working with the Taconas or to trap the demons in his city. Okay, so you think there might be some other plot point for why he's trying to keep them around. Honestly, 1% probably just errors and misclicks. That's totally valid, David, 100%, honestly. I was suspicious of the handmaiden Greta the second time she asked she could do. Same artificial. Soon as she was like, well, I could go do this, I was like, nah, you stay right there. You stay right there, Greta. I'm watching you. And then she ended up getting sent off. And then when I got brought up that like she hadn't come back, I was like, yeah, guys, she was trying to leave the whole time. Like, come on. Read Greta like a book. Greta was not hiding anything from me. Samuel says, I think you want to know if they will be a threat to his house first. I don't think he's enemy yet. Well, I don't think that, like, a threat to his house, how? Like, I don't think that they directly will be a threat. Maybe housing them, maybe helping them will make him a threat, but yeah. Yeah, what's up, Dane? I agree Einfasens is gonna be a bad guy, but I also think he just smashes heads like that. Fair. Sorry, Steven, I pressed the dislike button. I knew it was you, Boomer. Sad live YouTube, stupid trolls. Yeah, again, some of it could be a mistake, like somebody else said. Chris says he is evil. The things happening to Makyar was to weaken the city. He knows of either Halavar or Taconas. All right. I think the letter was handed to him by the Taconas. Like, if anyone asked, Skill, this is why you're holding these carriages. So you think that they had thought it through to be like, hey, leave all of the stuff on there. Don't touch the supplies. Like, keep the wagons together. Like, you thought they thought that plan all the way through to set up a ruse in case somebody asked. I'm not sure I'm buying that one. I'm not sure. It's possible, but I'm not sure I'm buying it. Erratic says, I think he reacted how he would if he found out if there was a mole in his ranks, given how Brennan explained how they would react. Yeah, so I totally get, like, Brennan setting up that they're very just, like, quick to act. They go from 0 to 100. Like, yeah, there was foreshadowing to how they act. But it's still like, brother, that's the one person who could have given you information as to what the heck's going on. And you, without a thought, you just killed them. Like, you just completely destroyed the one source of information you had. And that was just, I had physical pain when he did it. I was like, oh my, why? Why, you idiot? Like, why would you do that? But I think it was Brennan's way of being like, yeah, you guys don't get it that easy. I'm not letting you find out right now. Like, that's, nope. This is going to be a longer thing here, which is totally fair. Totally fair. So thing will be work hard, nerd hard. If I didn't already say it, thank you for liking the live on TikTok. So it'll be very interesting to see what will happen if Octus is found out. Just because Einfasens is quick to violence, no matter what would happen, it would be messy. But I agree, Erratic. Somebody else said, like, does he just get his head smashed too, like, immediately? Because they've kind of set it up for that's how these things work. I think Einfasens is up to something, but not sure he was straight up in league with Greta. Though it would have been a perfect setup to do so, it just seemed to subvert the personality of the three. Yo, what up, mister? I don't think he's a threat yet. I think he's wildly arrogant. To someone, he'll just simply overcome whatever subterfuge the handmaiden was a part of. His house is older than the Obernian family. Okay, so you're thinking that he's just like, yeah, I could have gotten information from you, but I could deal with whatever it is regardless. My thoughts were given, maybe that's what Brennan is up to, but my gut says it's something more nuanced. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we'll get a little bit more about it in this episode. They just need to protect Lady A. Yeah, Lady Aranessa Royce is going to need them to make sure that nothing happens to her, because that would suck. Are we sure he's not? He could be, Emily. So that's my opinion, and I've stated this many times, made a whole video on it. My thought is that there are only two options. I've said this time and time again. My thought is there are only two options. One, he did something really stupid. I don't care if he did it out of being a hothead and like it was still a stupid decision, because that is he got rid of the only source of information. Or two, he was trying to hide something. Those stupid or hiding something, like those are basically the two ways that I view it. Emulus. So yeah, there's completely a possibility that he was trying to hide something. Do we think the handmaiden is a spy for Hal, though? We've touched on this a couple of times. I I don't think so, because Hal didn't say anything like, oh, I already have a spy. He just said, I know somebody who's a gossip. And they didn't, like, at this point, there wouldn't be enough time for him to have reached out and been like, hey, be a spy for me, do all this. And then her already be like, I need to go tell Hal, and like go, right? It just doesn't sync up to me time-wise. I would be very surprised if they decided to, because to me, it would feel like a little forced. Because I don't believe Hal said like, oh yeah, I have somebody who's already passing me crazy information about the Einfasen. He just said, I know a handmaiden who's like got, she's a gossip, that we may be able to use for a source. So I don't think that source was set up yet. I don't think she was his spy yet when this happened. Yo, what's up, Spooder Man? Thanks for liking the live, and thanks for sending that heart on TikTok. There are already plans in motion. They can use supplies at a different front. Einfasen's real game, protection, or soft prison. He kills Greta before she outs him, ordering the traitor letter. Already knew Julian's intel. Daughter's safety first, or house cover-up? Journeyman, that's what we're going to try to find out, dude. So we're going to try to find out. That light is sick. Oh, you're talking about this one? This one? It's a D20, actually. It's a D20 light. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pick up because it's like the neon is kind of blasting it out, but that's actually a D20 light back there. If you're interested, because you're on TikTok, it is actually in my showcase. Like if you go to my page and click showcase, it's for sale on there. So fun fact for you. Let's see. Daniel says, if we think Greta was acting on orders from Einfasen, did she send the message to the Einfasen at Dalmakiar? Brennan did say the bird was heading west. So yeah, so I think maybe she was sending it to them to be like, hey, you didn't get everybody when you destroyed the Davino's house. Like, people survived. That's a possibility. Or sending it to, if there's, the Draconis or somebody else that is still there. Like that's a possibility too. The Undead Vulture was too slow, right? It was more that, yeah, it was too slow to gain on it. And so Brennan looked up, would the carrier pigeon need to rest before it got there? And he basically discovered it was no, that it was not there didn't need to be a rest, because it was like 100 miles away, and carrier pigeons, when cruising, can go like 60 miles per hour. So what is the countdown to? The countdown is to Critical Role's episode tonight. This is the Critical Role pre-show that I do across Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok every Thursday, and it's a pre-show. So every Thursday, their new episode comes out, and we do a pre-show talking about last week, the weeks before that, the upcoming episode, theorizing, speculating, just sharing a common interest and love for Critical Role. Are we sure the guards and soldiers are in prison? For all that we know, they could be. Yeah, 100%. They could have already been taken out. But that's where we said kind of near the beginning of this, where it's like, if that's the case, the players need to be asking, like, hey, you said you were going to release my people. You should probably show me them now. Like, if you had all these people captured and you said you're going to release them, where are they? So hopefully the players will do that. Boomer says, Steven, how do you have such a great hairline? I don't. I'm pretty sure I've lost an inch or like a finger's width as I got to about 30 years old. I think my hairline used to be down here, and it's gone back a little bit. So thanks for asking, I guess. I feel like the Sundered houses are already fighting each other before the schemers already put their plan of driving wedges between the houses. That's, yeah, because I think they thought the Einfasen were a part of it, and now we don't know. I think we'll find out more about that tonight, but it's like, oh, maybe they aren't a part of that, and they were just doing their own thing, and so there is already a potential conflict there. You're in your 30s? You look young? Well, thanks, dude. Yeah, no, I'm 34, brother. 34 and a half. I turned 35 in June. Gentlemen, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. Let's see. In line with the general back in Dalmakiar, who believes he belongs in charge of the city guard? Their house can't conceive of reality, or they aren't strong enough to endure. That's fair. Yeah. Been thinking about making a paladin. Do I use a sword and shield or two-handed weapon? Do you want to be a little harder to hit, or do you want to do more damage? Right? You're basically choosing between, do I want to do 2d6 or do I want to do like 1d8 and have an extra 2 armor class? Like, I always imagine myself as more of a sword and board and going like shield and sword sort of idea. But I'll tell you what, when you pick up a great sword and you hit for 2d6 and you smack somebody for freaking like 12 plus your, plus 4 strength or something, feels good. It feels real good. I'll tell you that. I like the imagery of the sword and shield better, personally, but it feels good to hit somebody with a great sword, I'll tell you that. Carriage is undefended, crew sick, incapacitated, poison magic hit, assassin, cover to hold wagons, Royce massacre, lion, crossed, sundered houses. Well, we don't know if they're out yet, though. Like, that's the thing, Journeyman, right? Like, it is my belief right now that they are actually captured. I think that the people were actually captured. I believe the story as of right now. Yeah, I believe Einfasens' story right now. I think that they received a letter. He thought it was real. He captured the people. He put the wagon away, or like put the people away and kept the wagons the way they were. I actually believe that, personally. Einfasen asked to be paid for the guards being jailed. Food, I think they're still alive. Yeah, well, that's enough. Like, I do believe they are. Daniel says, I've been watching the Daggerheart Azrim show. I caught up on it. It's as good as the story for how Daggerheart's worse. It looked really funny. I have not. It looked really funny. You got a crazy echo. So this, I think, Big Bunky, you're probably watching, so Big Bunky, I don't know if you can hear me. You might be watching at the very start. And there was a slight echo there, but I fixed it very early on, and I don't believe there's an echo now. So that's probably what it is if you just tuned in. No, but the Daggerheart Azrim thing looked really funny. I have not watched it. But the trailer looked awesome, and it's really cool that they're doing that and have partnered with Viva La Dirt League. Caden says, I don't think Greta's collaborating with Einfasen, but I also don't think it's Hal. It might be Halavar, Taconis, or Cormray. I agree with that. I do think she was doing something, but I don't think it was them. If Einfasen refers to the German word Einfassen, which means like framing, taking in, and closing. Ooh, interesting. You think that the name was chosen because of the specific plot point that he was already thinking of? That is interesting. Brennan's, where do you really stand? Azune, alone is volatile. Einfasen, castle lockdown for days. Tacona's lines are bigger conspiracy. I don't think they are currently aligned with Taconis. I don't. I will say that. You think that a fighter paladin is better for a shield master build? I mean, with the paladin, you can get stuff where you throw like Shield of Faith on yourself, and now you are not only using a shield and going 2 extra armor class, now you got an extra 2 on top of that. And then if you choose like the fighting style of like Intercept or something, you can lower the damage to an ally by 1d10 if you're standing 5 feet from them. Like, you can, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all what you want to do, right? Like, I care a bit less about specific meta most powerful and more like what is your character fantasy, and then trying to make that good. You think there will be a combat this episode? Noah Wells asks. I don't think they're gonna fight the Einfasen. So if anything, maybe Tyranny's sisters, but I also think it's too early for them to fight 3 demon sisters. So I don't know. That's actually tough because I feel like I kind of want there to be a little bit of a conflict, but I also don't know who they would fight, Noah, so I'm not 100% sure. Also, Big Bunky on the F that other pre-show. If that's how you feel. I hope you enjoy mine. Claim as much as they might claim as much as they can, including Royce and Davinos. Like claiming them. Dalgo says they or someone should make a map of what worked because I was so confused directions and places. Some people have actually, and people shared them in my Discord last week because this came up last week. And so actually in my Critical Role channel in Discord, there are a couple like fan made maps that help show that. I could pull up one real quick. Let me try to do it in a way that you guys can see. Display capture. Let's see. If you're on the TikTok or YouTube Shorts, there's a map. So Damakiar is here, and right now they're over here. They're on these mountains. Yeah. And if you're on the horizontal, I need to pull it up over there. So give me a second. Display capture. Yep, there it is. So there's the map. Dalmakiar is here, and then they went through the Devalmar Pass, and over here is where they are at Reese and Girdle. And the other group, the soldiers, went up through the Hapshini Woods and Arderin, ended up at Castle Sloke. And then there was another map somebody posted, but I think it's in this chat. Sorry, this is the live chat. Or no, maybe it was in the welcome. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Somebody else did this one as well. So there are a couple maps out there that people have made to try to, just based off of descriptions, right? This isn't from anything other than somebody has tried to piece together what we've been given. Like, this is to the west, this is to the east, this is to the north, this is to the, like, that sort of thing. So, it's not probably going to be 100% accurate to what the map, when they finally put one out, is going to show, but it's at least something. Also, I'm going to throw this out there again for anybody who is on YouTube. If you're currently watching the vertical feed and you want to watch a horizontal feed with the, my whole room, and the chat would be over here, not, above and small. You can see all the different chats from different platforms. You can go, if you just click on my name or whatever, you can go there and then just click. There's two lives. One's vertical, one's horizontal. So if you're watching the vertical, you can go to the horizontal. If you're watching the horizontal, you can go to the vertical. I'll see your messages either way. I can see both chats. Just in case somebody's watching the vertical and is like, man, like, I don't like watching vertical. You can do that. Just want to let you guys know that. Let me see if I can catch up. Sarah, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. I appreciate that. I feel like very fine. I just started D&D, so I'm watching all the CR stuff now. Well, gentlemen, so I personally do think that the previous campaigns are better for somebody trying to like watch D&D. Campaign 4 is fun, but it is not the normal D&D game by any stretch of the imagination. And so I think watching episodes, campaign 1 is the one that is most at-home D&D like, but it also has like the most issues with like audio and all that sort of stuff. They were still figuring things out. Campaign 2 is kind of the best blend of this as a production, but also a live show until COVID kicks in and it starts being pre-recorded. And then campaign 3 to campaign 4 is a lot more of a production. And then campaign 4 is very different with like 3 different tables and all this. It's still cool. So if you want to be caught up with what is happening currently live with Critical Role, campaign 4 is where you should be. If you want to watch something that feels like a home game of D&D, campaign 1 is probably where you want to be. You want to find somewhere kind of in the middle, maybe campaign 2. So just my little tidbit of information. But either way, if you're doing campaign 1 and 2, you have hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours of content. Cormoray is the only Sundered house we have yet to really learn anything about. What do you think their deal is? Halabar's light, Tikonis' death, Einfasens' muscle, Royce have the fairies. I believe Cormoray are also spellcasters. Mitchell. I believe that part was established. The Cormorant are spellcasters, but they might be more of like the wizard type, or maybe they're also innate, similar to Taconis, where they just have like innate magic, more of like sorcerer. I can't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure the Cormorant have been established as also being like spellcasters. Convince your GM that Mythical Greatsword can be wielded in one hand and live your best life. Well, back in 3.5, you could get what was it, monkey arm, monkey grip, and you could, if you took that feat, you could use a two-hander in one hand. So you could dual wield greatswords in 3.5, or you could, you know, have a shield and a greatsword and stuff because they had a feat that allowed you to do that. Azram is fun, but it's only 30 minutes per episode. It's like getting started, ends directly. Yeah, 30 minutes is not a lot at all. Like, I feel like 45 minutes has to be like the shortest. That's 30 minutes is very short. We'll watch first episode this weekend. I've heard good things, Artificial. That means Giant's Belt, and that's what how the episode is called. Yeah. I wonder if Cormorant could be aberration themed, or I don't know, any other type of creature considering the pattern so far. That's fair. Spooderman, you're probably gone already, but peace out, dude. So Switzerland and Britain by Tolkien, so I could see the names mean something. No, that's totally fair. And I mean, in a lot of ways, certain things have. I think combat is planned, but who knows? That's fair. What did you think of my theory of them drawing the three demons into Einfasens courtyard and letting them duke it out with each other? No, that would be cool. Yeah, I think that it's possible. The alarms would go off if they're demon alarms. And then it would be like, oh, maybe you guys are behind this. Maybe you're the culprits, and they end up fighting each other. And maybe during that fray, the Seekers escape. Or they're just like, you know what? Maybe we're not so safe here. And that's where they make their move out. That's completely possible. Completely possible. I know the map that Brendan made is not perfect, but I would like to see it. Oh, where he said he just like scribbled stuff down. Oh, I would also like to. Maybe he'll just like post it to his Instagram story or something. Oh, those maps really help. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Dago. And again, people post them in my Discord. So my Discord is linked in the description on YouTube. So feel free to join the Discord and look at them. We also, for those of you who don't know, in the Discord, there's a Critical Campaign 4 live chat where during the episode, we're all, you know, oh, what did they just say? Or what does that mean? Or, oh, that's so funny. And like, you know, we chat about the episode live as it happens. So feel free to jump in the Discord and engage. It's not as active as the Beacon Discord, so you can actually see what people are saying. But it does happen. So feel free. Otto hugs Oxus. He goes, Einfasens new disguise. Prepped. Greta bait, mock trial stage for Alliance, Caravan sick Eos's guards faking alert, Azune, his mole, so between betrayal code. Journeyman, you got some wild theories, dude. You got some wild theories. Holy cow. Jason says, I don't think Brendan would put the sisters in that position without a way out there too important to get rid of this early. That was my thought when people were like, oh, maybe they're going to fight them. And I was like, one, I don't think they win. And two, I think it's too early to be like, oh, all of the demon sisters are dead. Like, what? So I would agree with that, Jason. I don't think that's going to be the case for them. They should be at the stage now where they have given the info to a map maker. Yeah, I think we'll get a map relatively soon. And by relatively, I mean, I don't think we're going to wait a year. That's my take. Still working my way through campaign 3, only at episode 19. Well, what, you got like 100 episodes left then? Caden says, Cormorant are dragons. They summoned dragons in that flashback for the war where Casimir saved Thiazi. Okay. I think the Cormorants are sources of dragon blood, dragons, giants, fairies, and other all sorts. Okay, yeah, there you go. Kimurka, that, yeah, just like, so you guys got a good point there. Because if we know that these other people are tied to these things, then maybe they're the dragon folks. That would be neat. Makes them feel very powerful. Are you familiar with the Daggerheart core set? Armand feels very much like Five Banners Burning Sea. I am not. I'm not familiar with the Daggerheart core set. I have not dug into Daggerheart very much. The Cormray, let's see, hold on. I was been working my way through campaign 3, very fun stuff. Nice. Mr. Militia says the Cormray seem to be Conjurer Summoner Wizard coded, or maybe they'll be revealed to be descended from dragons if ever cards one of some of the dragons. But yep, that's exactly what other people just said. So you guys are all on the same wavelength about that. The fact that they wouldn't let hireling Octus leave makes me think they know who he is, or at least that he's disguised. Or it's kind of like they didn't want to let somebody else get out and share information, right? Because they just had a mole. So it's kind of like, no. If he's already seen you guys, if he's already been kind of made aware of this, yeah, we're not letting anybody leave our site. Astri, welcome to the Discord. Saw you jumped in. I wonder about the Daughters of the Guy in the Tower. Yes, Olbred Morn. I also hope that is a thread that gets pulled. 100%, Pico. I hope that we find out more and that they find them or find out what happened to them and they're able to pass that information on. Yeah, I 100% agree. Yo, what's up, Batson? Welcome in. I'm glad you could make it. Vox Machina Season 4 should be announced soon. I thought there was already a date for it, and it was just like a little bit behind the Mighty Nine. Did they not already give like a date and stuff? Am I crazy? Dano says they might have a fight with the Demon Sisters without killing them. There were several battles early in Campaign 3 where they did a lot of damage to opponents and the opponents teleported away. Yeah, I could see something like that where they managed to escape or get out, and that could be like the conflict, or they have to run because, yeah. So I'm not ruling that out. It's hard for me right now to think, oh, is that going to happen? And then when you also add in that, like, again, they're currently around all the Einfasens, they have a protective detail. It just doesn't feel like any of those places would be able to actually do something, or the sisters would be able to do something to them. Like, they're too well guarded and armed at the moment. So that's where I have a hard time with that. No date so far. They only said early issue 2026 or expect January because we are greedy. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. For some reason, I thought I'd seen something like March, but Vox Machina Season 4 comes out later this year. I think it's supposed to be in the summer. Oh, okay. Well, if it got pushed back, maybe. I know Tails said that they were thinking, or it was said that it was going to be early 2026. But so how did we all feel about the table switch? Like, do you guys miss the soldiers? Are you happy about it? Do you think it's cool that we're now with the Seekers? Do you like what is the overall feel with this? Like, just in general with the whole idea that we've swapped tables. We got our first full table swap. We have left the arc that we were following and we are now on a completely different group doing a completely different thing. Asher said, I did wonder if maybe the Einfasen knew Octus was disguised, but thought he was one of the demon sisters he knows are hanging around. I don't think so. I think Brennan kept wanting to make him do a deception and then finally did, and then he rolled a nat 20, and so now it would feel weird. DH Right, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. I appreciate that. I think it would be weird if Brennan now was like, oh yeah, he knew. If Brennan made him, like, ask him and then had him roll a deception, and then he got that, and then to be like, oh yeah. So I think it'd be odd. So now I don't think that they know Octus wasn't the guy, because then you're like, if he knew that, why would he have let them in and around his daughter and believed their story? And you're like a lot of the other stuff wouldn't add up if he knew that this was all a lie and like that was not the vassal guy, Elric or whatever. I am pro table switch. Is it Boneyard? So what about, also welcome back, what about the table switch? Just you like the idea of like following different groups, or you just were done with the soldiers, or you really wanted to see the Seekers, and like what is the reasoning behind there? And then I went back to genuinely suspicious of him. Fair. To be fair, if the demons get Octus out of the way, it might be safer for him. Unless he's dead. Again, if you know what I'm saying. So sad to see Matt play. I'm vibing with it. Yeah. Matt's done a great job so far. Big fan of that. We just need more episodes per week. Brennan runs on almonds. Just keep feeding him almonds and keep making him Dungeon Master. Now, once again, DH Wright, thank you for that follow on Twitch. Jason says, if they were onto Octus, they wouldn't have let him leave the group to reapply to Sky. See, I don't think they were onto him. I'm glad for the table swap. Okay, glad for it. The table switch was handled well. I do miss the soldiers, but it was the right time to move on. I agree. They had basically solved the arc, and then they were beginning a whole nother thing of getting him turned. I still think they made the wrong decision to go back to Dalmakiar instead of traveling with the hounds to the people that like could 100% do the thing that they need done. Instead of being like, well, I think maybe Bolaire and Murray can do it. Or maybe the powerful circle of druids could do it. Like, with all the protection and the hounds and potentially the whole kingdom of Timony being able to take your side. Like, I still think they went, like, they should have done that, but that's just me. Want to see Sid go in flesh again, but I understand that 9 players, 1 table is not manageable. It would just be frustrating. Yeah. I love the soldiers, but I really do enjoy the table switch. It fleshes out the story in a new way, and we get the anti-Mercer effect in full force. Agree with Daniel. Great timing for this. Yeah, the timing was fitting. The timing was fitting. Boomer says, when will NERDCORE be invited to the table? They would embarrass me. I would not be able to do the level of role play that they do. I would definitely make it feel more like a home game. It would feel more like a home game if I was there. I'm not an actor. I mean, I'll role play, but I wouldn't role play to the level that they role play. You're the most talented D&D player I know. You know 0 D&D players other than me. For me, this table was the one I was most interested in, not missing the soldiers yet. Says Samuel. Fair enough. Maybe soldiers backstory cold open tonight. We kind of talked about that, Chrome, and I'm intrigued by that. I feel like we're not separated enough from the soldiers, and also they did that whole hour-long scene at the end of the soldiers arc where they got to like just hang out and role play and talk about it. So it felt like if we already went back to them, it was like, then you didn't need that scene at the end because then they could just be doing that stuff now and the cold opens. So I think they're going to give us separation, and then maybe we'll get a little bit towards the end of the Seekers. And then when we get to the Schemers, I think we'll go through the same thing. We won't see the Seekers for a while, and then we'll get, but I could be wrong, and they could just immediately start showing us the soldiers walking back to Dalmakiar. Could be completely wrong on that. All right, let me catch up. Julian's Octus hate equals vestige curse mark. Loathes impure blood. Elfer's Octus. Greta kill activates episode 13 Berserk. Out's real traitor. Taisha. What? Journeyman, what the heck is going on with these theories? I don't think there's a real traitor in the group. Person, that would be crazy. And I don't think it would be Taisha out of all of them, but yeah, I don't think it will happen. Agree, Jason. Just think if they aren't upfront and trust these guys about Octus, they're screwed. Yeah, because then they just have to keep hiding it. So you'd be like, hey, look, he's the one who was able to share some information. Like you can frame it in a way that's like, hey, he really he's not one of the Taconis. Boneyard Mod says, I think the soldiers had a nice wrap up, and I'm excited for the table with 3 DMs and Ashley. Fair enough. No, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, 3 DMs, Ashley and Octus. Ashley and Alex. Roll deception check and got a super high roll. Yeah, exactly, Gamurka. So that's why I said I think it would be odd if Brennan ended up making him do it, because it was like, okay, then what was the point? Greetings from the UK. Can you please greet my uncle? Hello, your uncle. Hello, Zernix. 637. I like the table swap. David says, I like the table swap so far. I kind of want some additional soldier follow-up eventually, but it wrapped up pretty well. I like we get new stories and lore and experience different table dynamics. Okay. Yeah, we might get him in cold opens coming up. Can Octus just disguise himself as a dead random and get chucked somewhere to find the prisoners? I mean, I guess. But again, it only lasts for an hour, and I think Maxi has like 5 or 6 casts of it. So it's like he can be out all day in the same disguise. Like he will run out when it comes to that. Denethrin says, just watched your video on Greta getting killed. I absolutely agree. Either dumb or the perfect way to cover his butt before she revealed too much. Also love the table salt too, but man, speaking as a Ranger Rogue man, I miss Cat and Thimble. No, that's fair. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying, Denethrin, is that it was either really dumb. I'm not saying that I don't understand why he did it because how it was foreshadowed that they are very like off the cuff, like whatever, but it was dumb or it was a cover up. Yeah. Chris on TikTok says, for me, I like Brennan more as DM and Matt more as a player. Okay, interesting. I think they're both great as DMs. And I haven't really seen Brennan as a player. But I'm sure he's fantastic. I'm still a little surprised that they didn't go to the schemers next, but they must have scheduling reasons for the order. Yeah, they probably do, or like just certain ways that they thought through production wise, like, okay, how do we think it flows if we go from here to here? How do we think it flows if we go from there to there? And Brennan probably talking to the producers and saying a big reveal that would affect what they want to do is would probably happen with the schemers. So we need to have the seekers do theirs first. So the big reveal happens after the, right? Like there's probably stuff like that. Because it's a produced show and they have to think about flow and where certain reveals might take place and how they could impact the other tables and all that sort of stuff. So that's probably a little bit of it. I think they're still warming up compared to the soldier table. Yeah, that's fair. I just roleplay as yourself. Yeah. Again, I roleplay it as a dungeon master. I roleplay multiple characters and do all that stuff. Cole, what's up, dude? Yeah, there is an episode tonight. Yeah, so they're not doing the rebroadcast tomorrow morning. They're gonna push it back to Saturday morning because they're doing the nationwide general strike tomorrow. So they made the announcement basically saying like, hey, the 9 a.m. Pacific rebroadcast on Friday isn't going to happen, but we are going to then air it Saturday at 9 a.m. So. Stephanie says the table switch felt good. It was time since the arc was done, and I wanted more depth on new characters. I hope they keep a similar rotation. Yeah, I agree. The timing was right. It was definitely the right time to do it. I don't agree with their decision, as I said, but I do think it was the right time. Caden says, I think schemers are going to be the main plot movers. We're going to get a lot of questions answered from the schemers for sure. It makes sense they'd be last. Yeah, exactly. Some reveals, stuff like that. Morta says, table swap is great in my opinion. Also, welcome in. Table swap is great in my opinion. I think the current Seekers table would have suffered from not having Matt only something. Ashley as the only OG player. Matt was DM after all. Yeah. Well, I like that they have split up like OG players into different groups to make people be like, you know, if you like the originals, you're going to want to watch these people or these different groups and whatnot. Tails says, I'm looping for you on TikTok. Have you tried like scroll up down or something, try to refresh it? Or if somebody else is on TikTok, I guess you wouldn't hear me if you're looping, right? I'm kind of just talking to myself there. Cole with a $15 super chat. Appreciate that, dude. Let's see. Oh, just okay. Local 757 boost, just boosting for being a local. Sorry, I started to read the next message. I appreciate that, man. Remind, because I know we talked about this twice now. Are you still 757 local or you moved? Because I feel like you had said that you had like been in Virginia Beach or something, I think, but then you grew up there or you lived there, but you're not there anymore. I was just on that side of the water doing a sponsorship deal with a pinball company. I told you guys about that last week. I got sponsored to go play a Dungeons and Dragons pinball game, which was actually super cool. Like legit, you pick a character, like it's like a video game pinball machine. You pick a character from like Dragonborn Paladin, Elf Wizard, like whatever, and they level up as you earn points, and you actually go on quests, and then you complete the quest by like you have to like get the ball to certain areas. There's a dragon, there's a freaking gelatinous cube. There's a mimic. There's a dungeon crawl thing where it's like when you enter the dungeon, then on the screen it'll show like a path and it'll say you want to go right, left, or forward, and you hit the button to correspond, and then you have to like earn points, and it'll say you've reached a door. There's a path to the left, there's a door ahead, there's a right, and you have to choose. Do you want to go through the door, or do you want to find like go to the left? It was really cool, really cool. There'll be a post going up about it because it's a sponsorship, but it was unique. It was I was like a pinball D&D game. Like I don't know what you're talking about. And then I actually played it and was like, yo, this is kind of sick. And who guess who the voice actors are? Matt Mercer is the voice actor for the pinball machine. He's a dungeon master. Laura Bailey is a voice actor on the pinball machine. Marisha Ray is a voice actor on the pinball machine. I didn't even know this. And then it was coming up in the credits, and because the voice went for the dungeon master, and I was like, wait a second, that sounds like Matt Mercer. And sure enough, it was Matt Mercer. That was actually the two. So it was very cool. It's off topic, but I'm always talking to a group in Norfolk, Virginia. Oh, I was Pixel. It's like the arcade bar in Norfolk. I was just there 2 days ago, playing that machine. Yeah. All right, let me try to catch up on chat. Thank you for that $15 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it was super cool. I have video of it and all that sort of stuff, but it was actually, again, what I thought about it was like a pinball machine. Like, how do you, it's just themed? And it was like, no, it's not just themed. Like, you're playing D&D. Like, you're playing D&D. In a different way, but it's sound effects and narrated with a dungeon map, different quests, help the dwarves, capture the kobolds, free the miners, just so many different, and you get to pick and choose. There's a shop. You buy items with your points. Like, it's cool, man. It's cool. There are games within games. I didn't know that. 100%. I did not know there were games within games. And then to see that, like, the voice actors are Laura Bailey, Marisha Ray, Matt Mercer, and there's some other names up there as well. What's his name? The singer for My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way, was one of the voice actors. Like, yeah, it was neat. All right, let me catch up on chat. I'm sorry. I answered the, is there an episode tonight? I'm enjoying the table swap because the world of Armand is very interesting and we can discover more about the world from different perspectives. Agreed, Samuel. It's not secret. Octus is a black sheep in Taconis. Agree with that, Jason. Disguise, self-slept, not including the one he's currently in. Yeah, for tonight, but I mean like the night, assuming like he sleeps that night and he's all good, Connor, then he'll have a full set the next day. 1979 says, wouldn't it be weird for the head demon to be talking nice in Tyranny's head, but at the same time sitting the other demon's killer capture them? That seems weird. I agree. That's why somebody was like, oh, he seems to like be caught up with it and like be able to see them all and what they're doing. And I'm like, but then wouldn't he be helping the Halibars? Wouldn't he be like it doesn't make sense that they took the wrong path. Right? Because the sisters bring up in their dialogue, they say something about, like, oh, we picked the right way because they're searching for them, right? They are hunting them. And so if he, the like father of the demons, the voice in Tyranny's head, knows that they went the wrong way, he could tell them like, you went the wrong way because he knows that's right. Like, I agree with you 100%. 1979. That part feels a little weird. Also, Brian, what's up, dude? Welcome in, Brian, 6488. I enjoyed Brennan as GM. It was a good decision. Hope one day we'll see Matt again at the table. Yeah, I mean, I want to see Matt DM again as well, but he deserves his break. Brennan prayed a little frog boy with a magic belt of giant strength and Wildmount Wildlings. Oh, yeah, I forgot he was in that. Cameron 1786 says, if Tyranny's sister catch up to the Seekers, do you think there's a possibility one of the aspirants could die, or do you think Brennan would want to hold off for Tyranny to see her sisters again? I think one of them could maybe die. In my head, they're more powerful than the Seekers. In my head, they're more powerful than Tyranny is. So I don't think the party is ready to fight them. Like, head on, just like this is a fight to the death between our two groups. I don't think they're ready for that. And I definitely don't think it's late enough in the campaign for all three of Tyranny's sisters to die. Sam DM 3 episodes of Brennan was a player. I don't remember the name, but it was, yeah, the Wildmount Wildlings. I've enjoyed seeing Matt as a player. It's interesting to see him develop just one character instead of jumping between a bunch of PCs. Agree. Strike, yeah, there's a nationwide general strike tomorrow. I don't think the aspirants died just yet. Maybe their mortal form does, but they just get sent back to the abyss and a new contract can be made and they'll just be remade, at least hypothetically. Also possible. And then Chris, I had seen your message when I was reading the local 757, but I had to catch up. I figured it out. We need to find a DM because we haven't played a game together in it has been a long time since you and I have actually been in a game together. Because I was running so we could play because nobody else would run. So you were my player. And then when you moved and you had to play online, then you were running so you could play D&D. And yeah, no, I agree. I agree. We haven't actually been in a game together in a very long time. It works now. Okay, sweet. Batson says, I'm really intrigued about the Seeker for some reason. The Schemers hasn't really pulled my attention. Excited to see where this arc goes. Yeah, and maybe because we're getting these cold opens with him, I think the Schemers is picking up, right? I do think the Schemers arc is picking up. And so maybe you'll start to feel a little bit more about that as we kind of get there. I feel a bit bad for Ashley with all the GMs at the table, but she is doing good. Yeah, well, it's also a very different character for her, I feel like. Really intrigued by the Seekers table, too. Yeah, we're learning a lot. We're learning a lot. Okay, this is all the stuff from the pinball. Critical Role pinball machine would be awesome. Yeah, well, I mean, this is basically a Critical Role pinball machine. 2 comedic moments for last episode. Ashley still can't pass a stealth check, and the aspirants thing, Conveyance, or Wicked Tyranny. And the other comedic moment to me was the thing with the Julian going up to the bar and asking for like a red Cabernet or something, and they were like, what? Because he's at some like cheap beer garden where they're just like, which ale do you want, and we'll just give you something, like, and he wanted something fancy because he's like a noble. I enjoyed that moment. If he can't sleep, I think most characters that can't sleep, they still have to technically like go through that, and they either enter a trance, like elves don't sleep, right? They do like a 4-hour trance. It's probably something like that. Yeah. I hope we can see more of Ayla. She barely speaks. Yeah, but this isn't, so I said this earlier, this isn't really her quest. She's just with them. It's not really her quest. I think it's one of the reasons we didn't hear from Cadigan as much early on in the Soldiers. It was also because it's like he's guiding them there, but it felt more like it was Thimble's revenge and then Tayor's brother. And then Wick and Tyranny were just having their own, like, we're on the run, and they were more comedic relief through the whole thing. Cabinet? I like how somebody, when I said that one earlier, somebody did that, and then 2 of you just did it again with the cabinet. I love that. What's up, Glory Be Pro? Welcome in. I'd run it. LP, you'd run the game for me, so me and my friend could play in the same one. Recognize Matt Lore from Everything Syndrome as an early sign of becoming a critter. Well, I'm just sitting in the back to respawn. Yeah, well, we don't really know how that works, to be fair. Because it's not, I don't know if it's the same as like, I think the way it was explained with Tyranny is she's saying, if you cancel my contract, my agreement with you, then I would be sent back. That's not the same as like, if I die. Right? We don't know. It could be. It could very well mean that they would just go back and then need to, like, once again, have a soul taken out of a body and be able to, like, that's possible. But I don't know that that's been explicitly stated that dying for them works the same way as, like, their contract ending. Once again, guys, if you haven't already, please do click that thumbs up button. If you are new here and you have not subscribed to the channel, we are nearing the end of the pre-show, so please do consider clicking that subscription button. I lost a couple subs today for some reason, and I'd love to get up to a higher. We're only 900 away, or 858 away from having 10,000, which is incredible. But yeah, if you guys haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please consider doing so. If you want to support me directly, continuing to do stuff like this, make this content full time, which I currently do, consider becoming a member here. It's a cup of coffee a month. It's between like $3 and $5 a month to support me as a member, or subscribe to my Patreon. That's the same thing. It's like $3 a month to subscribe over there. Link down in the description. Also the super chats, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats. I really appreciate it. That also helps. Yeah, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All that stuff helps. Continuing to get more people in here and engaging with us. My Discord is linked down in the description. I posted a video last night, so if you guys haven't already watched that, check that out. But yeah, we do a live chat during the show with Discord, so definitely feel free to do that. But we are about the time we wrap up, so I'm going to read these last couple messages, and then I will shut this down so I can get ready to watch the episode. Beat them today, but I think they'll be don't think they'll be gone for good. Same with the Taconis guys they kill, except for when they burn their bodies, apparently, like with the Knights of Saramai. Calling my shot. The schemers are kick off with the rival of King Gus. I could see that. You a fan of Zach the Bold? I've seen his stuff. I've been in the same room with him. Like I've literally been in the same room with him, and I've seen his content. Yeah, he posts some good stuff. I know he's moved like the normal. We've seen a lot recently. D&D creators have started to do Magic the Gathering because it is a larger market, and D&D content has started to, like YouTube and all that, has started to perform a little less. And so a lot of D&D creators have started to migrate into touching more Magic the Gathering stuff. But yeah, I mean, the guy's cool. Like I haven't ever actually talked to him. But I've seen videos, and he does a good job. I think it's the stories. I think the camera, the cinematography is very good for what he does. But I'm not like a regular watcher, I guess, is why I can't say. Like I'm a fan. Like I don't even know if I follow him, but I've seen plenty of his videos. Been DM for 4 years to be down and talk about it. Love everything D&D, so why not? Yeah, I'm currently in like 4 games, something like that. Harburger walks and Nerdcore could run. Good chat. I'll go look forward to next week. Won't be in the post show if you have one. Can't finish till Saturday morning. Hey, no worries. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. Enjoy the episode. You got about 11 minutes before it starts. And we will see you guys next week as we prepare for episode 14. We may do a post show tomorrow. Not 100% on that, where we break down tonight's episode. But either way, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Feel free to join the Discord and chat about it as it happens. Peace.